Hola, welcome to Flipgrid 12. There's only one Flipgrid for this chapter because it's a shorter chapter. There's only 1 week usually for this chapter, so I'm going to squish all of the grammar concepts and all of the conversation questions that I would normally do in a Flipgrid into one video. So let's get started. You may notice already that the grammar for chapter 12 is mostly a review of the subjunctive. That's why I chose to do chapter 12 in 1 week rather than 2. So we're basically just going to review how the subjunctive works. So what causes us to need the subjunctive. And then chapter 12 looks at using subjunctive with emotion, impersonal expressions, and the expression ojalá, as well as doubt, uncertainty, and adjective clauses. So it's kind of a lot of uses, but the formation of the subjunctive should be reviewed by now. So again, we've been using the acronym WEIRDO to help us remember when we would use the subjunctive. So the W stands for wishes or willing, wants. Quiero que tú puedas visitarme durante las vacaciones. The E stands for emotion. So anytime anybody feels a way about somebody else doing something, and it has to be that somebody else doing something because there has to be that second verb involved. Me alegro que hayas recibido una A en la clase de historia. Me enfada que it angers me que Juan no trabaje más en este proyecto. The I stands for impersonal expressions. And we haven't really talked about these yet, but they are introduced in chapter 12. An impersonal expression means that it's just kind of a general statement. So think about taking that personal preference, that personal desire, I want this, she likes that, and making it impersonal. So I always like to think of it for the world. A hope for the world, or a statement that applies to everybody in the world. It's not personal, it's impersonal, it's not specific. So something like this: Es ridículo que Gloria sea la presidenta del club de alemán. Ella recibió una D. So it's ridiculous that. It's not ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous, but it just is ridiculous. There's no personal pronoun to that first statement. So some other impersonal expressions would start like es bueno que, es malo que, es necesario que, es difícil, es imposible, es triste. So it just is. It is whatever it is. It's not I think this or she wants that. There's no personal pronoun in that first expression. Hopefully that makes sense. It's impersonal. It's a statement for the general public. Recommendations, R's for recommendations, requests. El hombre ruega, he begs, que le demos algo de comer. He looks kind of bad. Aconsejo que pidas perdón. I recommend you, consejo is a piece of advice. So aconsejo que is I advise you to ask for forgiveness. The D stands for doubt. Dudo que, I doubt that, alguien sea capaz de sacar un 100% en el examen final de física. Es un curso muy difícil. I doubt this. No creo que, I don't believe that. That's any element of doubt. And then finally, this expression, I've kind of talked about it a little bit, of ojalá. Ojalá comes from this expression. I think it might even be Arabic, but it just means to God willing. God willing, and then whatever follows it is followed by the subjunctive. The ojalá expressions are a little bit different because they don't need that K after them. They work with or without the K. So, ojalá que madre me compre los zapatos. God willing, or I really hope that, I'm hoping that my mom buys me the shoes. But you could also just say, ojalá madre me compre los zapatos. Ojalá que yo encuentre oro al fin del arco iris. Really wish, God willing, I'd find some gold at the end of the rainbow. So anyway, that was a review of when we would use the subjunctive, all the weirdo instances. So this chapter 12, like I mentioned earlier, really focuses on verbs of emotion, the doubt, impersonal expression, so whatever's left, whatever we didn't cover in chapter 11. So verbs of emotion, these are, like I said, anytime anybody feels a certain way about somebody else doing something. Alegrarse de, esperar, gustar, molestar, preocuparse, quejarse is to complain. Sentir, to feel, sorprender, to be surprised, or tener miedo de, to be afraid of, and then que, and then whatever else the verb, the second verb is going to be pushed into the subjunctive. So, Señor López, le gusta que su trabajo tenga un horario establecido. He likes that his job has an established schedule. Yo espero que lo pases bien. I hope you have a good time. Here are some examples of impersonal expressions. Like I said, these general or universal statements for the world. There's no personal pronoun for this, these statements. Es bueno que, es importante que, es imposible, es lógico, es mejor, es necesario, es ridículo. These could also be in the past tense, but I guess we're not going to cover the past tense subjunctive until later on in the course. But anyway, these expressions are followed by que, and then the following verb pushed into the subjunctive like this. Es importante que vayas al dentista. Es una lástima que no ganes más dinero. Okay, these are pretty easy to use, pretty easy to recognize. Subjunctive following ojalá. And like I said, the que in this case is in parentheses. It's not necessary. You can use it, you can leave it out. Either way. But ojalá is always going to be followed by the subjunctive. Again, there's a lot of ways we could kind of loosely translate it. Let's hope that, God willing that, if only, that's another good translation of this. Ojalá lo pases bien, or ojalá que lo pases bien. I hope that you have a good time. Ojalá haga buen tiempo allá. Let's hope the weather is good there. So que is usually omitted in conversation. And then finally, with expressions of doubt, uncertainty, and disbelief, non-existence or indefiniteness. Dudo que él corra 10 millas en la playa. I doubt that he runs 10 miles on the beach. With expressions of doubt or uncertainty, here's some examples. It is entirely dependent on the speaker having doubt in what their statement is. So if the speaker believes to what they're saying is true, even if it's false, this is kind of weird, but if the speaker believes it to be true, there's no subjunctive involved, because remember, this is dependent on the feeling. It's a mood. So if the speaker is making a statement, even if it's ridiculously false, if the speaker believes it to be true, there is no need for the subjunctive. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, some expressions of uncertainty or doubt. Dudar, which means to doubt. Es dudoso, it's doubtful. No creer, don't believe, not to believe. No es cierto, it's not true. No estar seguro or segura de, it's not to be sure of. And no pensar, not think. And then followed by que. So es dudoso que la mujer tenga mucho dinero. It's doubtful that she has a lot of money. No creer, no creo que salvemos el planeta. I don't believe we'll save the planet. It's kind of dark, but could be somebody's opinion. No es cierto, it's not true. No es cierto que tengamos suficientes recursos naturales. It's not true that we have enough natural resources. Okay, so maybe you're sensing the theme of chapter 12, el medio ambiente, the environment, and how to save the planet, I guess, kind of what we're going to be looking at in chapter 12. Finally, this is the last one. adjective clauses that express hypothetical situations. So this is where it's going to be like that if only we're not sure. A hypothetical situation is when we're not sure if this thing really exists. So it's hypothetical. So we use the indicative mood to refer to people and things in person that a person is certain or believes to be true. Again, this is entirely dependent on how the speaker feels about what they're saying. Sé que el aire está contaminado aquí. I know that the air is contaminated here. You know, even if I live in, you know, Siberia, where the air is most certainly not contaminated, I feel like it is. I do not need the subjunctive. We use the subjunctive to describe hypothetical people, places, things, or conditions. So an example would be, quiero vivir en una ciudad que sea tan bonita como el Golfito. I want to live in a city that is as beautiful as Golfito. I'm not even sure if this place even exists, but I want to live in this hypothetical imaginary city. Or busco una ciudad que no tenga mucha gente y que esté cerca del mar. I'm looking for a city that has a lot of people and is close to the ocean. So again, not sure if this place even exists, but this hypothetical place is what I'm looking for. So it's going to require the subjunctive. So here's what you're going to answer me in your Flipgrid back. You do not need to do all of these. Just pick a few. You're going to just complete the sentence with some opiniones positivas y algunos opiniones negativas. So, me alegro de que, fill in the blank. It makes me happy that. Es bueno que, and then fill in the blank. Me gusta que, and then make sure that you're using a verb in your statements. So, me alegro de que mis hijos tengan una casa. Es bueno que mis estudiantes sean trabajadores. Es importante que mi trabajo tenga beneficios. And then, so maybe make 3 positive opinions and 3 negative opinions. No me gusta que haga mucho calor aquí en Texas. Me molesta que no pueda salir de la casa. Okay, so 3 positive opinions, 3 negative opinions. You can use my sentence starters, you don't have to. And then aquí tenemos las preguntas de conversar. Y se trata del medio ambiente. Como les dije, es el tema de ese capítulo 12. So, ¿cómo vamos a salvar nuestra tierra? Tierra is earth. ¿Cómo vamos a salvarla? Para ti, ¿cuáles son los 3 problemas más serios con el medio ambiente? ¿Y tú haces algo para ayudar con el medio ambiente? ¿Qué haces? Y si no, ¿por qué no? Como reciclar, tratas de conservar energía, tomas tu bicicleta al trabajo en vez de manejar tu carro, no sé, tal vez crezcas tu propia comida, tienes una granja, comes verduras y todo eso de tu casa, sería muy bien. Ok. So, ya es todo. Capítulo 12 es un capítulo muy corto. So, just be aware that chapter 12 ends in 1 week. You only have 1 week to do all of the assignments instead of 2. And I'm going to send out an email and reminder for that also. Hopefully, you are all doing well. I look forward to hearing your responses later. Adios.